Welcome, everyone. It is April. I wanted to say March. Welcome, everyone, to our April Plant Magic Wellness Chat. So, this is the first Tuesday of every month. We just changed the date. So, that's where you can find us now at 8 p.m. Eastern. My name's Jessica. I am a vegan chef, owner of a restaurant in Southern Vermont, super fresh organic cafe, cookbook author, holistic health coach, essential oil advocate, enthusiast, educator, lover of all things plants. So, and then I'll let Emily introduce herself. But yeah, go ahead.
Hi, my name is Emily. I'm a licensed acupuncturist in New Jersey and New York. So I primarily focus in practice in northern New Jersey. And I incorporate a lot of essential oils into my practice, both in blends that I make, as well as working with doTERRA blends and incorporating those oils with the acupressure points for a home practice. So really incorporating the magic into your everyday life.
I love that. And I love having these simple tools at home. So these calls are every month designed to go over. We work primarily with doTERRA essential oils, and they're about every month that they offer different promotions and deals, discounts, specials, things like that. So we're going to be sharing about those, but it's also just a great time to learn about the oils that you already have or that you don't have yet, and maybe like put it on your wish list if you're like, oh wow, I could really use support with that. So this is a time for education, and we'll be going over things based on the promotions, but it's really a deep dive into education. So we're going to kick off with lavender oil. Every month, doTERRA has a free product of the month that you can receive if you when you place a there's actually two ways to do it now. This is brand new. So you get a free this is a 15 ml bottle, but it's a 5 ml bottle of lavender essential oil. And I love this change that they did. It used to be kind of like a random oil, sometimes that you would never heard of and you may never see again, which the oil aromatherapy junkie in me loved all the special oils. But for the everyday home, I love the change that they've made. So basically, every single month over the course of the year, you're going to get the top 12 oils for free. So they go through like peppermint, lemon, lavender, frankincense, deep blue, digestion, and each month we'll talk about those oils. And I love that because even if you're like just getting supplements, which are incredible, you can get the free oil of the month. And that's going to build your essential oil collection, your medicine cabinet, and or restock things. And I love the 5 ml size because it's such a great little one for travel, to have around the house, pop in your bag, things like that. It's a nice little small size. And definitely, my recommendation is when you empty that 5 ml bottle, keep it and you can refill from your 15 mil to your 5 ml bottle. You can like make a smaller version of your 15 mil to have different locations around the house. Like lavender, I don't go out without in my kitchen. And we'll touch more on that in a little bit of why. And then, I mean, honestly, bathroom, but if I had to choose two places, it would be my kitchen, my bedroom, or kitchen and bathroom. But number one is actually kitchen. And not just for culinary, it's actually for a bigger, deeper reason. So I love that they've made this change. And the way you can get it free is if you order 125 PV, which is point value. That's roughly $125 by the 15th of every month. So then you get a free oil every month. This month is lavender for the month of April. Um, the other way that they just added is they have a new ish, like maybe 5 or 6 months old now, foundational wellness bundle, where if you order the VMG plus with the E omegas or the vegan version of the omegas, if you want to stack on any other supplements, then you still get it for free. But if you order your monthly supplements, which is the vitamin, minerals, and greens, omegas, vegan or fish based, depending on your preferences and needs, you will get the free oil of the month. And that can be any time of the month. It could be the last day of the month you order your supplements and you'll get the free oil. So you could literally like never actually order an essential oil, just order your supplements and you'll get a free oil every month, which I think is awesome. So Emily is going to guide us through a little meditation with lavender?
Yeah, so you're talking about the places where lavender is your number one, and number one for me is always in my practice room. So
Mm.
even from like very beginning on, because before I was practicing as an acupuncturist, I was also doing energy healing, so Reiki, I was teaching yoga. Lavender was always my immediate go-to for years and years and years. And then I started to gradually add more single oils as well as blends into my practice rotation. But like lavender is such a steady, good fallback oil because most people, when you think of lavender, you think of calm and relaxation. So if you have a lavender handy, I would love for you to use it during this little practice. We're going to do a little bit of acupressure. But if you don't have it, that's okay. You can still do acupressure. And the sensory organ is one of the most powerful organs. Like it has such an amazing memory. So even just by thinking and concentrating about the scent of lavender, you stimulate a response within the brain. And you can feel the neurological effects then. You can feel that calm, that sense of relaxation without even having the aroma physically. So if you have your lavender, just taking a little drop. Lavender is one of the oils that I find I can use straight because it's so gentle. And one of lavender's great uses is it actually is really calming on your skin. So if, for any reasons you're having like redness or eczema, I find lavender is really helpful. But if you have overly sensitive skin, you can always dilute. Um, but for these purposes, I'm just using my lavender straight. So just take a drop. Let's just take a minute, find a comfortable seated position. And I want you to first just place that drop right at the center of your eyebrows. Just breathing in here. A nice deep breath in through the nose, and exhaling out. You can exhale out through the mouth. And I want you to just start to trace. You can use both hands if you'd like. Just tracing that arc over the eyebrows. So just really softening and tracing from the center between the eyes, your third eye, tracing out to your temples, your third eye, both your third eye chakra, but also in Chinese medicine, this is a place of your intuition. So using lavender to help calm the mind, but also to tune into your own body's innate intuition. And if you're familiar with the emotional freedom technique or EFT tapping, you'll find sometimes we'll even do some tapping at the center of the eyebrow. So if you're finding that you need a little extra oomph to sort of help break up any negative thought patterns, or if you're feeling stuck mentally, you can incorporate that gentle tapping into the third eye and even to that temple position. And again, when you're ready, just coming back to that sweeping motion. And I want you to just trace down to your throat, and you can just sort of like gently caress the throat because lavender is also an oil for communication. And I want you to sort of hover over that hollow just above the sternum. So between the collarbones, right above the sternum, there's that little notch. So just focusing right in there. And this is a pressure point for when you feel like you have something stuck in your throat to help really descend the chi. You can stroke here a little bit and then settle into a spot. Maybe just let your hands gently rest on the collarbones, taking a deep breath here, noticing how that feels in your body. And then I want you to end bringing your hands in front of your heart center, taking a few deep breaths here. Relaxing the shoulders, relaxing the jaw, just really letting that lavender settle into your system. Knowing that you can always apply lavender directly over the heart as well to ease any feelings of anxiety, any restlessness, even if you're having heart palpitations with the anxiety, you can rub it right onto that heart center. And again, if you're feeling any of that stuck tension in the chest, you can do a little bit of tapping at the center of the chest and then draw it up and out to over the lungs. So between right underneath the collarbones, in front of the shoulders. And I know I'm giving you a few different tools and techniques, so just trust that you'll receive what you need. You can always come back and reference. Let's take one more nice deep breath in and exhale out through your mouth. When you're ready, you can open up your eyes.
It was
A
so
lot
nice.
came through, so
Yeah. Wow. I was like, but I don't want to be ready. Let's just stay here forever.
yeah, I know that's why like things kept coming through, and I was like, yes, let's work with lavender.
Mhm.
So soothing.
Yeah, lavender's such a special oil that I think I often, as much as I love it and I'll like always have it in certain places, like I wouldn't not be with it. It's also one that I feel like I can kind of overlook sometimes because I get excited
Mhm.
about like it's just just because lavender's like so is everywhere, and I've always been someone who kind of is like I want something different, you know. Um,
Yeah.
but she's so powerful, and
Mhm.
I don't remember the exact number, but I know there's over 200 chemical constituents in
Mm.
lavender, and there's so many different varieties of lavender. The one um, that we work with at least from doTERRA is Bulgarian, is grown in Bulgaria. Um, and there's a lot of similarities in the variations, but this is the one I know the most. And yeah, I mean, she's just, it makes so much sense that that was like one of, or like the first oil that you were like always had in your practice because it's such a
Mhm.
healer oil.
Well, and also doTERRA lavender smells so much better than any other lavender I've ever worked with.
So Brian Lawrence is like does a lot of studies, I think that's his name, on like the adulteration practices in the essential oil industry. And that's one of the main reasons I work with doTERRA, of many reasons. I really align with their practices and principles and how they work with the land and the people growing it and everything. But he did a study and researched, I don't know how many kinds of lavender, but he researched a lot of the lavender on the market, and he found that 70% of the lavender on the market is adulterated. It doesn't have any plant
Mm.
matter in it. Not just is like slightly adulterated. Doesn't have 70% has no plant matter. It's just completely synthetic fragrance.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
the
I believe it. Yeah.
so anything we're talking about, and that's not the only reason. Like you can have headaches from essential oils and develop sensitivities over time. If you work with something overconsumption can create sensitivities of anything and
Mhm.
food and oils, everything. Lavender is a very gentle, safe oil. But a lot of the reason why most people, I won't say all, have like headaches, because people, that's one I hear a lot is like, oh, lavender gives me headaches. And part of the reason I think they say that is like, I mean, you think of like walking into Yankee Candle or Bed Bath and Beyond, or,
Mhm.
not trying to put down any specific companies, but like basically just any big brand, like candles that you find at the
Mhm.
store. There's so much like spa, bath, beauty products that are lavender scented, you know? And I think that, not I think, but I know that a lot, not all, but a lot of the headaches are coming from the synthetic.
Yeah, I agree. And I'll also add that lavender is can be stimulating for your third eye too. Like it does have a really powerful relaxation component, but it can be really activating for your intuition too, which can cause an initial reaction. So
Mhm.
that's why I think pairing it with a really grounding oil is really helpful as well. Like we were speaking about before started recording, we're talking about pairing, and we'll get into this too about pairing the citrus bloom with something really grounding. And so sometimes it's nice to have these different tools in your pocket to know, okay, and especially when you have them as single oils, you get to play a little bit, and because your needs will change day to day also. But for those people that may find, okay, even if this, I'm still getting like, my third eye is really activated and I'm having so much stimulation. It's like, okay, well, let's ground it,
It
let's
is.
help anchor it into the physical a little bit more.
Yeah. And actually that makes me think like, well, I don't necessarily use lavender on a daily basis, although I always want to have it in my kitchen.
I'm
Um,
curious to hear about this. Yeah.
so, well, the kitchen, I don't know why I'm like building suspense around it for not really any reason. It's just the best thing I have found for burns. So, I
Yes.
mean, I
So
always
that's
would,
the.
so like, I own a restaurant, I work in the kitchen, but also at home. I had a really bad burn this summer that was not in my restaurant, it was at home, and it took a while to heal, but it did heal a lot faster than it could have. And I'm going to actually do a post sometime soon, or it's my intention to, on Instagram to share more of my story, um, and some recipes that I used to treat the burn, because it was the worst I've ever had. But even like small burns, it's the absolute best. So like it's the first thing I put on. And yeah, if I have aloe around, which I usually have aloe in my house, in my restaurant, um, I'll grab a little bit of that too to layer on after. But I'll just put the lavender on my burn neat. What I love about that
Mhm.
is when we get a burn, especially a really bad burn, if it's a small burn, it might be like, "Ooh, that hurt," and I'll put lavender on and I won't have any scar. And I'm like, "That was a bad burn." Like, not like the worst burn. I've definitely have ones too that took me over a month to heal. But then there's others that were like, "That should have given me a scar," but ran cold. Now I like also run cold water over it. Depends on the type of burn for how long I'm gonna run it over to help cool, because the burn will keep heating through your skin. It'll keep burning you until your body temperature comes back down. So running it under cold water, doesn't have to, not like ice cold water, but like cool water. If it's a really bad burn, it could be upwards of 30 minutes that you run it under. Like definitely at least like 10, 15 minutes is ideal. And for a bad burn, longer. And then lavender immediately. Um, and then you could add things like aloe and stuff. Um, And I do use other things as well. Like I'll make a burn spray that is heavy on the lavender, but it has tea tree, maybe some peppermint for cooling, frankincense, rose hydrosol, which we'll talk about a little bit
Mhm.
later, vitamin E, aloe. I'll like add aloe to it. What else? Helichrysum, if you happen to have helichrysum, it's incredible. And just also straight rose, yarrow palm blend is incredible for burns and scarring. But lavender, what one of the things I love about it is your body goes into shock, right? You start shaking, you start like, if you get a really bad burn, if you've ever experienced that, like your whole system starts to like go into panic attack mode. So I love that the lavender is working on the skin. and healing that, but it's all because you're using it, it's going into your bloodstream. It's
Mhm.
calming you down. It's bringing you out of shock, you know? So it's lowering that shock
Powerful.
response because it's so high in
Mhm.
linalool. So I love the paired of like, it's great to actually heal the topical ailment and the physical reaction, the emotional reaction of what's going on with your
Mhm.
nervous system.
Which is amazing.
Yeah, it's so powerful. So that's like I teach anyone who works at my restaurant knows use lavender first, and we have aloe too. And if it's really bad, let Jess know and I'll I'll make something more strong. Usually it's me getting burned. Um, just because I'm like the primary cook. So I just think it's so powerful. Like I wouldn't want to not have it in my kitchen for that. And if you think about like the kitchen burns, it's also really great for sunburns.
Yeah, so, I
So
mean, along the same lines, that my go-to face oil that I make in the warmer weather, like spring and summer, is to make a face oil with lavender, with rose, and blue tansy, because they're all really soothing for the skin. And the rose hydrosol is great for that too.
yeah. Yeah, the rose hydrosol is amazing. I can't wait to talk more about that. Um, something I like to do in the summer is make a mist. And I just ordered like I'm really trying not to buy anything on Amazon these days, but you can order continuous mist sprayers. I think doTERRA actually has a 2-pack of them. Maybe that's where I bought it. They're
Mm.
not like the cutest looking things. They're not like super aesthetic, but they work. I keep one in my car and I take one to like all the festivals I work in the heat and stuff. Sometimes I'll take it into the restaurant if we have some hot days. Um, and I usually just fill it with water, lavender and spearmint oils, just like a few drops of each. Distilled water is better, but honestly, usually I'm like, here's water. Um, it's so nice and cooling. And at the festivals, I'll just go around and like I'll like spray everybody, cool them down. And actually, this month, if you happen to be new to the doTERRA oil world and don't have an account yet, if you end up placing an order this month, the whole month, I have, well, at least for the next 8 days, but I might have it all month. I have a code where you can get a free lavender touch. So that is like, I don't have that one specifically, but it's going to look something like this. It's going to be in a roller bottle. So it's 10 mil. It's with fractionated coconut oil and lavender, which is great to like roll on your spine, layer that with peppermint on like hot summer days to help cool your body down. And that's another good thing to do. Like if you get bug bites, bee stings, lavender is such a great one for bee stings, bug bites. It's also a bug repellent. Like the list goes on and on. Yeah. And Emily mentioned it's really great for skin, um, eczema, acne, oily skin. And just a note on that is it's it's very drying. So continued use, especially if you're like putting it in the bath every night and you're like, why is my skin so dry? Lavender dries your skin. That's why it's working for oily skin. That's why it's working for acne and eczema and all of that. Yeah. And it's a great one to add to moisturizers or skin serums for sure. Oh, but that's what I was like, I don't know how I was gonna say that, but I use lavender the most in the Serenity blend because I diffuse Serenity almost every night.
Mhm.
Sometimes I'll like create a different blend or I'll do like on guard and breathe if I'm sick or other people around me are sick. But even still, I usually still use the Serenity blend, which is really great because it's lavender, vetiver, cedarwood, vanilla. I'm missing a couple that are in there. Do you
I'll
remember?
check. It's right next to my bed.
Yeah.
I've been using the Serenity stick
The stick
on my
is the absolute
yeah.
best if you have trouble. So, because I also keep a roller of vetiver next to my bed. Because if I wake up in the
Mhm.
middle of the night and for whatever reason can't sleep, vetiver is like the conk you out oil.
Mm. Yeah, so ylang ylang.
Ah, yes.
Mm, but the stick also has valerian root.
Yes, I love the stick. So I put Serenity in my diffuser and then I roll the stick on like the inside of my wrists, my neck, my
Mhm.
I actually do like right under my nose
Mm.
to smell it and I'll like just like get like all of my like temples and back of my neck. And so yeah, it's so good.
Mhm. Yeah, I've been putting it on my feet at night, which is
Yeah.
nice. So, yeah.
Serenity is
I love
so
the
good.
Serenity blend. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like I can't imagine not sleeping without it. And they do have a whole sleep system that has the Serenity 15 mil oil, which is this size, the Serenity stick, and Serenity soft gels, which also have
Mm.
what do they have? They have some other added herbs. I'm blanking on maybe passion
The
flower and
do the soft gels have valerian or no?
I don't think the soft gels have valerian because I can't take it internally. Valerian kind of messes
Okay.
with me internally, but topically and as
Yeah.
an aromatic
Yeah.
is great.
Same.
Um,
Yeah.
I think maybe there's melatonin. There's something in the soft gels that are amazing. So if you're looking for sleep support,
Yeah.
that bundle's great because it also is cheaper than buying all those things separate.
Mm.
And for me, like I'm always gonna have like Serenity oil is probably one of my most purchased oils. It's like probably for like 10, 8 or 9, 10 years, somewhere in there. I diffuse it
Mhm.
almost every night.
Mm.
It's also so lavender, which is like a heavy hitter in that blend, is such a great nighttime oil, you know. So
That's
a
a good
good
one for baths too, because it's very well. I feel like it's very well rounded.
Serenity.
Yeah.
Yes, I love I love putting cedar wood in baths. It's so nice. And ylang ylang. I've always put ylang ylang in baths. Not every bath, but since college, that was like one of my first bath oils. Um, which is also that's also a great woman's health blend.
Yeah. You're reading my mind. Yeah.
Why do I know? I like how I've like never pieced that together.
Yeah.
Um, just add some clary sage and geranium, and you're good to go.
Yeah. That was my go-to. Yeah, but I'm not using clary sage right now. But yeah, that was my
Yeah,
go-to for a while. Yeah.
yeah. Well, and it's funny because I put geranium on my heart every day for probably 8 or 9 years. Because
Wow.
it's the oil of love and trust. And at that time,
Yes.
I was like going through some pretty intense personal like stuff, and I just like really needed that emotional support.
Mhm.
And then I kind of learned more about the women's health stuff, but also geranium's like one of the best tick repellents. Pair it with
Yes.
lemongrass, and and I'm like I never have ticks on me, and I'm in nature and hiking a lot. And
Mhm.
I swear it's not just because the oils I put on, but it's because I put geranium on every day.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
knock on wood. Me too.
Yeah, I mean, I still
So,
check. And if I get down like harvesting ramps in the spring,
yeah.
sometimes I'll like find a tick on me, but it's not never embedded.
Yeah.
Again, knock on wood.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, yeah.
still do your tick checks.
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
but really powerful. Um, so yeah, Serenity, bath. I don't know where I was going with that.
I don't know. We're leading to citrus bloom, I think.
We
It's
are
so
leading to
yeah.
citrus bloom. Um,
Which I was thinking
bug
there's
bite.
no
Let me
yeah.
just stop because there were a couple other things I wanted to touch base on with lavender, and I have some notes that I'm just gonna. Oh, so before sleep, creating a sleep routine, which
Mm.
I'm not good at. I watch TV like while I'm falling asleep. Most nights, I sometimes I'll read a book and fall asleep, but most nights I'm just like, oh, I'm just gonna watch this. But I also don't have I have never really had major sleep issues unless there's like something random happening or if I'm like have an early flight. But it's a really great one. It's lavender in general is anti-anxiety, great for stress support. So I didn't get details on the science behind this, but so lavender is also an antihistamine, which is why it's great for bug. bites. So for bee stings, bug bites, like my niece will grab her lavender touch and put it on bug bites when she gets them.
Mm,
Lavender and peppermint are both great for that.
mhm,
Lavender, peppermint, and lemon together for allergies is a really great thing that you can either take capsules, you can make your own soft gels internally, put it in water, or doTERRA makes Tri-Ease soft gels. Um, and then you can also make your own blend of those three: lavender, peppermint, and lemon. If you want to boost it up a notch, you can add Melissa and Roman chamomile um, for allergies. You can make a roller blend of that to keep in your pocket, your purse, whatever. Keep rolling that on, diffuse it at home to help with things like hay fever. But supposedly, lavender is also like an antihistamine of the brain.
mm,
I didn't get like an expanded version of that, so I need to dig into that deeper. But it does calm. It makes sense because it like calms anxiety.
mhm. So helps reduce inflammation when in the brain.
Yeah, and it helps to, like,
Makes
rewrite
sense.
it's really good for Alzheimer's and dementia to helps it helps build new brain function, spatial
Mm,
awareness, and with anxiety, so you can do a hand massage if you have, like, a loved one, or there's people who will go to homes,
mm,
and do hand massage
mhm,
with, lavender, and if you add Melissa to that, really powerful. And I would if you were especially with anyone who is in the older demographic. A carrier oil would be nice 'cause sensitive skin, especially if you're adding Melissa, because she can be pretty hot. Um,
mhm,
it's such an endless compassion healing oil. Great for mothballs, dryer balls.
mm.
Um,
Laundry,
yes.
laundry. So you have those reusable laundry balls.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I love the wool balls.
Mhm,
Not necessarily brand new infant newborn babies, but for new moms who need sleep support. You're already using that.
yeah,
So anyone who's in that camp, really supportive. You could even make a mist and spray your pillow or your sheets. When you make your fresh laundry, fresh bed, make a nice little spray. Good for ear infections, like rolling it around your ear.
mm,
Um, you can add a drop to your moisturizer or serum. And if you start, a lot, I'm a culprit of this. I'll often just as I'm getting into bed is when I get my diffuser ready for bed. But if we can start to maybe like start diffusing it like an hour before you want to go to bed, so it kind of
mhm.
starts to signal to the brain, hey, it's bedtime.
Yeah,
And you start to create those pathways.
yeah.
Yeah. So lavender, you can get the 5 mil for free this month. Or if you already have it in your collection, there's many, many, many different ways that you can use it. I'll also note I use it in my cooking. So I have a lavender latte recipe on
Beautiful.
my blog with lavender oil. I'll put it in like raw fudge or chocolates, lavender cacao, like a little bit of lavender coffee. Lavender oil is very, very strong. So one drop can be too much. So what I like to do is I'll open the top and this little hole in the center of the orifice, take a toothpick and dip it in and swirl it in your drink. If you're just making like a 1 cup, if you're like, I want a hot chocolate and I want to, or like I'm adding it to the lavender elixir. Um,
Lavender matcha is really good too,
Ooh,
I'll say.
yeah,
Yeah.
that sounds great.
But I like that toothpick idea.
Yeah, and I usually find that when we do lavender lattes with like espresso at the cafe, and one toothpick dipped isn't enough because it doesn't get that much, but we'll do two. We'll do toothpick swirl, flip the toothpick to the other side so you're not getting coffee in your oil. Dip it in because it's not really going all the way in, but it gets some oil on it, and then swirl that. Um, I usually do just 1 drop, but lavender also can come out really fast. And if you get 2 drops of lavender, it's like, oh God, it's really bad. Um, so it's really good to play in the kitchen, raw desserts, things like that. Pairs really nice with like a ceremonial cacao.
Mm,
Yeah.
thank you.
Do a kava. chamomile tea, lavender essential oil, cacao butter, coconut milk, honey, or you could do maple syrup or dates. Um, so good. So I'll post in the replay that I post to YouTube. I'll post the link to my lavender latte recipe in the description of this video. Yeah. And lavender is also um so you can get lavender free this month again, 125 PV order by the 15th on the rewards program. Or if you just order your supplements anytime this month, the foundational wellness, VMG plus and omegas, vegan or regular, you'll get a 5 ml lavender oil. And I also have a code so you can reach out to myself or Emily or whoever sent you to this. And we'll get you a promo code this month only for a 10 ml lavender touch oil if you're a new customer. And lavender is in our next special oil blend. This is such a great blend. I love it so much. It's so spring. So I love it for like opening my windows a little bit on a nice, like, oh, it's starting to be warmer and it's sunny, and I'm going to open my windows, do some cleaning, get my diffuser going. So Citrus Bloom, every month there's an oil that's 10% off. So, and get a little extra savings if you want to stock up on this oil or try it for the first time. It's a really beautiful blend. I have to remind myself what's in it.
Is it
It's
10% off across the board or is it
10%
10%
off
off?
all month, retail, wholesale, new customer, anyone. Yeah. So it's just an extra 10% off,
Great.
which don't buy retail. There's no point to, because you wholesale, you just 25% off and there's no barriers anymore.
Yeah.
You jump any hoops to, you could just order one oil and get 25% off. So
Hmm.
um so Citrus Bloom, do you have the list of the oils in it?
Yeah. Wild orange, grapefruit, lavender, Roman chamomile, and magnolia.
So we've already talked about lavender and I touched on Roman chamomile.
Yeah. But I mean, really uplifting, like an uplifting blend.
Yeah, the
I
citrus
feel
oils are
also,
so mood energy and
yeah,
mood uplift.
yeah. But also, I feel like hormonal balance or an uplift. I think also that like spring surge, like getting out if there's any like seasonal depression too, like sort of just giving your brain that freshness. Like I always think about that with wild orange and grapefruit.
Mhm.
Magnolia is such a powerful oil. Same Roman chamomile too.
Yeah, Roman
Yeah.
chamomile is so powerful.
Yeah.
I mean, they all are. Um, so the citrus oils are pressed, distilled by pressing the skin of the oil, and all the others are steam distilled. And I just think about like the burst of orange when you open, you know, peel an orange, that like bright awakening sunshine. Grapefruit
Mhm.
is so amazing for the metabolism,
Yeah.
for the lymphatic system. It's great to add to dry brushing.
Yes.
Yeah, magnolia
Yeah.
is any of the florals. Literally, you could choose any flower, and it's great for your skin, for anti-aging, for your face, for smoothing
Yeah.
things out. And they're all very gentle. If you think of jasmine, rose, magnolia, lavender,
Blue
helichrysum, blue
tansy.
tansy,
Mhm.
yarrow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, magnolia is I find her such like a grandmother energy,
Mhm.
but also I mean, very spring because that's when the magnolia trees blossom.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I was telling Emily that I love diffusing citrus bloom with like one, maybe two drops of patchouli. And it's probably how I use patchouli the most. I don't actually use patchouli all that frequently. I really
Mhm.
like it, but I'm not like a crazy patchouli fan.
Mhm.
Although if you're like anti patchouli, try out doTERRA's because it is different. It's not as
Yeah.
intense, and I mean, you still get that like hippie Birkenstock vibe, but it's not it's not the same as that. And I just really like it with the flowers and the citrus. I don't know where I just one day I was just like happened to do that. I know I didn't hear of it anywhere, but I've like started like a whisper campaign, patchouli and citrus bloom.
Mhm.
It's so
Well, it
nice.
is a very uplifting blend, so I just think adding that hint of earthiness really helps anchor,
Yes.
Same thing with using like the lavender was something that's going to ground. I wonder if cedarwood would
Mm.
work if patchouli's, I don't know.
Mm. I mean, I love cedarwood and wild orange. It's one of my like favorite two oil blends. Lavender, I love doing wild orange frankincense lavender is kind of just like,
Mm,
and the
hmm.
clinical aspects of how that supports so
Yeah.
much of our body's systems, anxiety, mood support is really powerful.
And I mean, I'm definitely going to add citrus bloom to my my
Yeah, I mean,
loyalty,
it's like
whether
if
it is
you're it's a great
how
time to
long.
like try a new oil when it happens to also be a little less.
Yeah, and so how long is it available for?
It's only this month, so it's all month for all of April. Or wait,
Oh, I mean, how long is the blend available for? Because I don't, is it a year-round blend?
wait, so Citrus Bloom was a special oil blend and now it's permanent. So it is a
Okay.
permanent
Because I
blend.
know it wasn't, yeah, I know at one point it was not.
It wasn't permanent and I would always stock up anytime that's why I have so much Citrus Bloom, which I probably shouldn't because the citrus oils are ones that kind of like can evaporate
Have
faster
a
over
shot.
time.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Mm-hmm.
they're in a closet in a dark space, and
Should
so
be okay.
do our best. Um, and at least it's not just citrus, it's citrus with flowers.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's a permanent oil now, actually, but it's 10%
Okay.
off just for the month of April. Yeah. So definitely recommend that. And
Yeah.
then what else do we have this month? The Malama. Oh, Malama is not, there's no discount, but it's a special like well supplies. I don't even know. Let me see. I think it's for the month of April, but if it sells out, it's out, the Malama.
Right.
But it also might be until it sells out. Sometimes they'll be like, hey, it's available now, and it could be like 2 or 3 months, depending on how it sells. So let me check, see if it says. It doesn't actually say that it's only for the month of April. I think it's just
Okay.
until they sell out
Yeah.
for the Malama, which could be 2 weeks from now, could be 5 days from now, it could be 3 months from now. Who knows?
Hmm.
So the Malama's a really interesting, beautiful blend that was actually created. Let's see, I have it written down here because I wanted some memory support. It's a really nice, earthy blend. It has now wood. It has what else is in it? Do you have it in the ingredients?
I don't have it in front of me, no, but
Oh,
I
I
can
know it
pull it
has
up.
Hawaiian sandalwood, now wood, wild orange, amyris, pepper Szechuan, I want to say. Let's see if I have it listed here. So Malama, the name Malama means it's a Hawaiian word that means to care for, preserve, and protect. And this oil was created in honor and reverence for personal well-being, giving back to the land and communities of Hawaii, because that is where the Hawaiian sandalwood that we get
Mm.
from doTERRA grows. And it's one of the only farms that doTERRA actually owns, and they work closely with the Hawaiian people to make sure that it is in the best interests of the Hawaiian people, of the land, of the ecosystem. Hawaiian sandalwood trees take somewhere around 70 years to grow one tree to cut the heartwood, and they have to grow in a cluster. There's like two or three other tree plants that have to grow with each Hawaiian sandalwood tree, you have to plant with other plants
Hmm.
for it to grow properly for the ecosystem.
I
So
have the whole list if you want me to.
sure, yeah.
Wild orange, cedarwood, coriander,
Mm.
lemongrass, magnolia. I'm not sure if I'm gonna say this right. Amyris,
Amorous, I think.
amyris, ylang ylang, pepper squishwan. You're spot on. Buchu. I don't know
Yep,
that one either.
do. Yeah, it's
And the Hawaiian sandalwood and nowwood. So I think you had almost
yeah,
all of them.
yeah, not I missed a couple flowers and the
Yeah.
cedarwood. Yeah. So it's
Yeah.
very grounding. It has a lot of big tree energy. It has that floral grandmother, ancient wisdom energy. It has the bright citrus, the spicy pepper. Um, yeah, I think it's really great for like meditation. It's just also a great scent to just diffuse. Really grounding and uplifting. Is bergamot in it too?
No,
Oh, okay.
I didn't see it. Hmm.
That's okay. I think this just was a little inaccurate. Um, I think it's just a really beautiful diffuser blend that you could also make a roller with for scent. What do you think intuitively?
Intuitively, I'm going a little bit off the deep end, but because I'm getting a lot of that like tropical, like Atlantean energy.
Mhm.
So a lot of meditation, like tapping into 5D, like consciousness. That's where I was like
I love
flying
it.
off on a spaceship just like 2 seconds
That's
ago.
amazing. Now I want to. I wish
Or
I had it with me.
or a ship into the deep, deep ocean. But yeah, like a lot of like activating codes in there. I think also like um I was getting a lot of like throat chakra stuff. So
Mm, I
just
love
feeling
that.
into the energy. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Yeah.
really
But
cool.
medicinally, I'd have to do a little bit more research and for
Magnolia is higher in linalool than lavender, so that's
mm,
always a great like calming stress, anxiety. Cedarwood and sandalwood, very grounding. I know that
mhm.
now wood is amazing for the skin. Um, it's in I don't know if you've tried
And
this yet, but it's in the new frankincense stick.
yeah, I don't have it, but I know yeah,
So it's
it's on
so
my wish list.
I use it mostly like on my hands for pain and inflammation. So I'll like do like my
Mm,
jawline can get tense and my neck and shoulders. That's where I
yeah.
mostly use it. And yeah, just like right on the face. Great for the skin, great for pain and inflammation. Um, yeah.
I coriander also I feel is good for your kidney, like kidney
Ooh,
energy. So like boosting like like your willpower, but also just like that your reserves, like really like helping to fortify your reserves as well. So if you're feeling like adrenally exhausted, um, I feel like this could be a supportive blend for
ooh,
that too. Like
yeah.
rejuvenating, like how you would feel after you go on like a tropical vacation,
Yeah. So
you
if you
know?
want to call in the energy of, Hawaii or that similar place, similar energetic locations, this could be a great oil to work with, and it could be really nice as a to turn into a roller blend.
Yeah, I think to put it on your spine too, like your lower spine
I
too,
was
your
definitely
lumbar.
feeling like the lower back area when you,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, that's your kidneys,
Yeah.
you know? Yeah.
Yeah, there's why.
Yeah.
Nice. I love that. And lemongrass is so protecting,
Yeah.
uplifting. Yeah, so it's like grounding, calming, uplifting. It's like everything in in one bottle. So Malama, that's available while supplies last.
Well,
Um,
and when I hear Malama, I know you said what did you say? Gratitude? What does it mean? Radiant
So care
inside.
for and protect. Hold on.
So I think of it as
Care
like
for,
mother.
preserve, and protect.
Yeah, like mother, you know?
Mm, yeah,
Like like it's your your ancestral mother taking care of you.
I love that. Did we save the best for last? I think we saved the best.
And I think they're all great.
They're all
But
great,
yeah, yeah, the
but
rose duo.
yeah. So, um, let's see what this is. I know that it's only while supplies last. Let's see.
Mm. Yeah, so definitely stock up.
I stock up on the Rose Duo. Let's see. It says available to purchase together or individually while supplies last. Limit 4 per account.
Mm.
That's per month if it is available next month too. People, as people have learned about this, they just started releasing it maybe 1.5 to 2 years ago. So,
I remember when this came out.
oh my gosh, I think it was also a Mother's Day special. So maybe it was 2 years ago.
Mhm.
So let's go up. I have lots of notes. So let's start with rose hydrosol. So the essential oils, of the essential oils are steam distilled. The citrus oils are pressed. Why am I saying that word? Like it's not pressed. What is the word? Pressed distillation? My brain is blanking right now. But you get it. They press the citrus oils to get the essential oil out. So you're actually releasing it versus the steam distillation separates the essential oil particles. So what is a hydrosol? So like I work a lot with rose water, um, but now that I've started using this, I only use rose water if I'm out of the rose
Yeah,
hydrosol or if I'm running
which is
really low.
yeah.
Um, so a hydrosol is known as flower water or plant distillate. It's the water-based byproduct from the steam distillation of essential oils. So when the rose petals are distilled to extract the rose essential oil, the remaining water contains microparticles of the essential oil and all the plant's water-soluble compounds. This makes it much gentler than pure essential oil, but it's still packed with all the beneficial properties. This is a spray that I was using. I put it on my burn when I had that bad burn over the summer. Like this was a really bad, you can't see because I did such a good job healing my skin, but this was completely red and raw and like open raw skin. Like this whole part of my arm, it was really bad. And rose hydrosol was one of the things that I put in my spray, but I would also just spray it on. It's very cooling. Rose is one of the most powerful healers energetically, emotionally, spiritually, actually physically. Um,
I think it has the highest frequency
yeah,
for
highest frequency of essential oils.
yes.
Yeah. Yeah, like the high megahertz.
Mhm.
You measure them. So if you are sick, energetically low, working with honestly any essential oils are going to help to elevate your frequency and bring you
Mhm.
into a place that you can receive and heal.
In
Um,
particular, good quality essential oils too.
yes, yes,
Yeah.
pure
Mhm.
essential oils. And these actually have spec reports on it. There's a QR code on every bottle, every
Mhm.
single oil bottle. If it's a blend, they don't have it because they only have the spec reports on the single batches. I don't know if there's a way to look that up, but all the single oils have them. And I know there's spec reports for every batch that go through third party testing. So that's really important to me. And that way, it's actually, tested that you can use it therapeutically. Because otherwise, it's just really a scent that is probably chemically adulterated and probably causing some side effects versus benefit.
Physically and yeah, physically and energetically.
Yeah, yeah. So the hydrosol is very cooling, the rose hydrosol. My favorite thing, my skincare routine, as long as I have the rose hydrosol and rose moringa blend, I like to mix up my skincare routine because I think it's important to feed our skin different food and rotate it. And that's how my skin has thrived over the
Mhm,
years. And what I do in the winter might be different. And sometimes even like I'll change it up night by night or week by week. I have multiple, I don't have there's just like this is my skincare routine and that's all I do forever. I have a
mhm.
few different things that I rotate with. It looks like you're like nodding in agreement.
Oh, yeah, I mean, mine's definitely seasonal, and I
Yeah.
do have my, like, this is what I generally do in the winter, but I also have these, like, extra add-ons if I need, and, like, this is
Yeah.
generally what I do in the summer, and I have those extra add-ons, so,
Yeah.
yeah, and I think it's definitely beneficial for your skin too.
Yeah, I mean, you're giving it different food to thrive
Yeah.
off.
Well, yeah, I mean, same thing if you ate the same thing every single day, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. So what I my but I will say like my base go-to is I love the doTERRA's Virage cleanser. That's become my
Mm,
go-to cleanser. Um,
mhm.
so I use that. I'll like put it on cold and then what get cold water and wash it off cold once and I do my whole like neck décolletage. Um, and then I do the rose. If I have rose hydrosol, if I don't, I either use a toner, a hydrosol from like friends who do distillation locally, or just rose water, like a good quality rose water from the store.
Yeah, and the Virage has a nice toner
The Virage
too.
toner is really nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just, yeah, that's just, yeah, I actually
As an
really like the
option.
Virage line.
Yeah.
It's just, I just don't use it as much, but I love the cleansers. Like I always have to have it in stock now,
Yeah.
which is kind of newer in my repertoire in the past year, maybe. I've used other cleansers over the years. And again, I'll change, I'm sure I'll change that up here and there. Um, and then I do the rose water or rose hydro, in this case, rose hydrosol, and then the rose moringa oil. Right now, I'm working on with because I ran out of my rose moringa oil, so I have a little bottle. I made a bottle. It's like a 2-ounce bottle with a dropper, like it would be like
Mhm.
for a tincture, but I put um I think I did jojoba oil is one of my favorites. I like doing a little bit of rosehip, vitamin E. But again, I'll
Mm.
switch up my carrier oils too. Sometimes I'll use grape seeds, sometimes I'll use sweet almond. I'd say jojoba, maybe a little castor oil, vitamin E, and rosehip are my go-to. doTERRA also has a sensitive skin oil blend that's really nice. That's a carrier oil. It's not no essential oils, it's just carrier oils. I think that one, I forget everything that's in it, but it's really nice and gentle, really gentle.
Mhm.
Um, and then I always add like frankincense, rose. I usually do like Immortelle blend dropped in because that has frankincense, helichrysum, rose, lavender, geranium, sandalwood, something like that.
I can
I
get
may have misspoke on one of the oils, yeah, but I think it's those oils. And then I'll add usually blue tansy and yarrow palm, which are super nourishing. The yarrow is very skin healing, very skin protective, energetically protective, and it's in a pomegranate seed oil, which is so nice, so luxurious. Sometimes I'll even just use that straight on my skin after I put my serum on. And blue tansy and yarrow palm are blue because they both have the chemical constituent chemazoline in it, which it releases as blue. So it goes into your skin. You don't worry, you won't be blue forever. It's fun though.
Did
You
you
can
say
even like draw some
sandalwood?
little hearts. You could write some little codes on you for healing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really great for scars, burns, things like that. Um, but the rose moringa oil is so special. Moringa is also known as the tree of life. The seeds of the moringa tree, which is what presses into this oil. Um, you can use to purify water. Um,
It's a good alternative if you want like a matcha latte that's not caffeinated. Just use moringa.
yeah, moringa powder is really awesome. I love
Mhm.
it. Um, I've never thought about it and like as a matcha alternative. I like that.
Mhm.
I definitely like adding it to smoothies and things.
I mean,
Green tea.
I love matcha, so like I rarely will go for moringa, but I have it in case the mood
Yeah,
strikes.
that's cool. Or
Um,
even like a half and half, maybe
yeah, yeah,
half calf matcha.
yeah, yeah.
Um, Moringa is very powerful anti-aging oil, really deeply nourishing, but gentle and lightweight. So it's not going to be like a heavy oil on the skin.
Mhm.
And Rose, again, she's just mm, potentially the most healing skin oil if you had to choose one. The ones I would like rival with her would be like frankincense, helichrysum, blue tansy, and yarrow. But I'm like, let's just put them all together.
Yeah, but if you had to take one to a desert island,
If I had to take one bottle of doTERRA oil, it would be Immortelle.
yeah, that's the like
Um,
cheap, not cheap, but like that's the way to get all the big, like the
the heavy
best,
hitters,
most
and it's like the
powerful.
highest vibrational like blend for
Yeah.
meditation and spirituality. That's actually how I got into using Immortelle because I was like in my mid 20s and I was like, I'm fine. I'm young. I don't need an anti-aging blend.
Mhm. Oh,
And I
it
take
smells
my
so good.
Immortelle and but I got it because I saved up points, so I got it for free. And it's not diluted. So one of the best things you can do is actually take like a third of the bottle and turn it in, like basically turn one bottle into three roller bottles.
Mm,
I do
mhm.
like to have some neat though too.
Yeah,
It's so good.
yeah.
Yeah. Anything else to add for the rose, um,
Um,
hydrosol, moringa oil?
no, I feel like I've been waiting for this to be available
I know, right? I was
since
literally just talking about it with, I don't know if it was you last month or someone else or
I
a
don't know,
few
we
people.
definitely I feel like we have talked about it. Um,
And I was like,
but
I feel like it's gonna come back around Mother's Day, and it is.
yeah, because I remember I flew through my oil much faster than my hydrosol, I guess. I don't know.
Same.
I don't know. I don't know how that happened, but
I go through the oil
um,
faster than the hydrosol too.
and then not having the hydrosol and being like, I guess I'll just use rose water for now. And it's not the same.
It's not the same.
Yeah.
It's better than nothing.
So yeah, definitely. Yeah.
But yeah, you
But
have to really experience the rose hydrosol for yourself to like,
definitely, yeah. That's going in my order with my citrus bloom.
yeah, I'm probably gonna order. I'm gonna stock up so I have a few months supply.
Yeah.
And we'll see where I'm at. Yeah. So those are we dove into a lot of other little random
Hmm.
tangents today too, which is great. And that's the whole point of these is to share the education. So if you already have these, you know more ways you can use them or ways you can use them if they're just sitting unopened. Or if you
Hmm.
don't have them and want to stock up, how you
And
can
there's
get
a lot of room to play,
them. Yeah.
you know,
Oh,
which is
I
it's
also
good to,
have the
yeah.
promo code I have for the Lavender Touch. It's if you're a new customer creating an account for the first time and you order 100 PV, which is roughly $100, give or take, depends on what you order and the point value. Um, so if you order 100 PV, you get with my promo code this month, which just message me if you are interested. I can't post it online, or they'll take it away from me. So I can share it with you in a private message. You'll get a free 10 ml lavender touch, which is the same size as those roller bottles I was holding. And if you happen to order 200 PV, you'll get a free diffuser. It's a cute little pebble diffuser, is what they call it. And I love travel. It's what I take as my travel diffuser, actually. Um, so it's really nice. You can plug it in USB or to a normal outlet,
Mm.
and it's really lightweight and small. I have a travel diffuser, but it's bigger. And I'm like, I'm just gonna take my
Is
Pebble.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I have the travel. I don't have the pebble. Yeah.
Yeah. So I love the so you would get a free Pebble diffuser and also the Lavender Touch and a Citrus Bliss 15 mil. Citrus Bliss is like it's like a creamsicle. It's like lots of citrus, what wild orange, grapefruit, lemon,
It has
tangerine,
yeah,
vanilla.
tangerine, bergamot, and it has vanilla, which just gives that
That's that
creamsicle.
creamsicle. It's like an orange
Yeah.
Julius.
Yeah. Yeah. But like a good one.
Yeah. I was gonna say without the chemicals and sugar
Yeah.
and actually true citrus.
Yeah. This is another good bath one, I feel. But yet, with any
Oh,
citrus
bath one.
oil. Yeah, I've used it in the bath
Oh. I
because
mean, I
yeah,
love diffusing it.
because it's a good mood. Yeah, it's a good um diffuser one, but I'll say my like and I don't citrus oils do increase your skin's photosensitivity, so just being careful if you're going to be in direct sunlight.
Don't go sunbathing
Um
after you take a bath.
yeah, yeah, because I really gave
Especially
myself
with
a bad
bergamot.
burn with bergamot. Yeah,
I mean, all the
1 year.
citrus oils except green mandarin is not photosensitive,
Right.
um, which isn't even in Citrus Bliss, but bergamot, I've heard, can last even, like, 72 hours,
Yeah.
where the other ones are
Yeah.
more like 12 hours.
Yeah, I didn't know it was up to 72, but I knew it was definitely longer, like it lasts a long time.
Yeah, but, I mean,
And the
citrus oils are
burn?
also really great for the skin. Like, bergamot is really they're really, like, cleansing and
Yeah,
brightening.
right, right, right. Yeah, so just being careful. Like I was really careless and I was like, I'm fine, I can do it. And I went for a run after putting some on and I had a really bad burn that lasted a long time. But I am very fair. But
Yeah,
it's not it is to be taken seriously.
yeah. Yeah, I don't have these ones with me because 'cause I'm not at home right now, but I'm gonna have to test this out when I do get home. I was just thinking, like, citrus blood it's such a yummy oil. Like, your mood's, like, so enhanced, and vanilla's a very like, it's an aphrodisiac oil. Wild orange and bergamot are abundance oils. So maybe be careful what you're calling in with that aphrodisiac abundance, unless that's what you were
A
looking
good
for,
massage.
but I was like, also, maybe that would be really nice to, like, add some, like, ylang-ylang too.
Mm,
I wonder.
yeah, you have to try.
Yeah. Is ylang-ylang in
Maybe as
citrus
like
bloom?
no. Oh, and citrus bloom?
I know it was in the Malama.
Um, no, it's not in citrus bloom.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
'Cause ylang-ylang is
It's
such a
in the
sexy
it's in the
term.
Malama.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ylang Ylang's another good hormonal, but yes, definitely like aphrodisiac. Um, yeah.
Mm. I feel like citrus bliss would also be really nice to, like, add ginger to, like, if you need, like,
Yeah.
a work blend, if you like sitting at a desk or your standing desk or whatever and needed, like, a create that, like, creative fire with I
Yeah.
like doing wild orange, turmeric, and ginger. It's like my
Mhm.
solar plexus get shit done blend
Mhm.
that I
Yeah,
diffuse.
yeah.
I love it. Calls in some, like, creativity and abundance and joy and
Mm.
fire. Inspiration
W
keeps my brain going.
what did you say? Wild orange, ginger,
Turmeric
and
and
what?
ginger.
Turmeric.
Turmeric, which is a very, like, not the most pleasant scented oil.
Yeah, but balanced with those? I don't know, that might be a little strong, yeah.
No, it's so good. Try it.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't tried it with the turmeric. I have a solar plexus blend too, and I can't remember because it's wild orange, ginger, and I can't remember my third one.
Yeah.
Um, but it's not turmeric.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it is.
Mm. Well, it looks like I think we've, like, covered everything. My computer, for some reason, isn't charging and looks like it might die, so
Oh, yeah, okay, so
maybe
let's wrap up.
we'll come to a close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing your wisdom,
Thank you.
and for anybody who has questions about anything we talked about, they can always reach out. If they want to ask questions about acupressure points in specific, happy to answer those questions. Um, yeah,
Great. Yeah. Thank you so much. Have a great night.
you too. Or, yeah, thanks.